It's the first week of November and we've already got the first snowfall of the season. It's been snowing all day and we've got a good few inches settling. So I thought I'd come out and do a bit of landscape photography. Best to do it now because by March I'll be sick to death of this white stuff and I'll have no enthusiasm to do this. I've only been here a couple of minutes and I've already found this lovely little scene, and what caught my eye was the yellow leaves. This autumn has been sort of unusual. It's been a bit slow for the leaves to fall off, and when you look around, a lot of the trees have still got leaves on. So to have that and snow, I thought, yeah, I better come out and capture that because you don't see that sort of scene very often. Today I've only got one lens with me, a little 40mm prime, little f2.5. This is from Viltrox and I'm actually reviewing it for an article I'm writing. So I thought, well, I've got to test it if I'm reviewing it right. I've actually got to use it. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity to come out and shoot these kind of scenes. I was really curious to try a 40mm because, well, over the past few years, everybody's suddenly making them. Nikon, Sony, all the aftermarket companies, third-party companies like Viltrox in this case. And I'm sort of wondering, why is that? We've been making do with 35 and 50mm primes for decades. So what's going on here? It's my view that this is a compromise lens. 35mm is a storytelling lens and you can show context, whereas a 50mm is a little bit more intimate. It lets you get in closer and isolate subjects, create a bit of separation. So this sitting in between, how much of a compromise is it? Can I still shoot landscape shots? Can I still go in and shoot little detail shots? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Starting with this scene. Here's another potentially good shot. There's a tree here without any leaves and the snow has collected nicely on the branches, and there's a dark row of trees behind, so there's a bit of contrast. And either side of that snow-covered tree, we've got some little trees with yellow leaves on still. So, bit of a symmetrical shot, I think. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to need to walk through all of this undergrowth to get a bit closer. Nothing wrong with using your feet. I mean, people will say just bring a 24-70, but I like little cameras, little lenses, and I'm not lazy. I can walk. That's about right, I think. Perfect. That was it. I don't know why I bought a tripod. Well, this is something I've not seen before. Green leaves this time of year. I don't know what's going on. They would normally have changed colour and fallen off. I'm trying this lens wide open at f2.8, shooting this little guy, and it's looking pretty good, I must admit. My only concern with this lens is because it's an entry-level one, there's no weather sealing, and this snow is very wet, it's coming down hard. I'm used to coming out with my camera and my lenses and shooting in these conditions and getting everything soaked. I'm not sure it's a very good idea doing it with this lens. I guess I'll find out when I get home or when I go to take my next photo and it stops working. So far, so good though. So if you're wondering why am I experimenting with this 40mm prime? Well, it's because for the past few years, I've been shooting most of my photography, most of my hobby photography, personal project photography in black and white with a Leica due to monochrome, and that's a fixed lens, 28mm fixed lens. And I've become so used to not having a choice and working with just one lens. I was starting to think, well, for my color work, landscape and travel, maybe I should ditch my 2 to 3 lens kit that I've been using. Mostly 2 lenses, mostly a 35mm and an 85mm. Sometimes I take a 50mm instead of an 85, but it's basically 2 lenses most of the time. And maybe I should just look at one lens. Do I really need 2 lenses? My thinking is, well, I've talked about this before in other videos. If I was going to take just one lens, it'd probably be a 35 or a 28. But what about 40? Why am I seeing all of these 40mm lenses appear? Is there something that I don't know about? Is this the one lens? So far, so good. I am actually impressed. It is a good focal length. It's definitely a good focal length. If it continues to work though in this weather. This is dead goldenrod, and I can't resist this when it's got snow in it. I'm really quite impressed with the f2.8. I think that's all you need to get in close and isolate your subject with this focal length. I've just seen another piece of this goldenrod that is lighter and just cleaner, nicer looking than what I've just shot, nicer shape. So I'm gonna grab that one. It's actually getting quite dark now, so what I'm gonna do is just have a little play. I mean, that's why I come out here, just to mess about and play and try things, right? So I am going to create my own sunlight, my own sunset on this little guy behind me. I brought a handheld LED light, and I've got my tripod, so I'm going to pop my camera on my tripod and shoot that with some backlighting, mimic a bit of a, yeah, low light, sort of warm sunset type scene. The wind is picking up. I think what we're going to do is pop that into manual focus, and we'll make it something like f4. So I've got in here this lovely light from Harlowe, and it's got a decent amount of power. The wind is blowing that thing everywhere. This is set to 3000 Kelvin, nice and warm. Oh my goodness, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this because that thing is moving. The wind is really picking up now. I'll give it a go. Can't film and do this, and I'm just going to put this down. All right, so what I did was shoot 3 frames, self-timer, 5 seconds. I ended up at f3.5, and I backlit the main subject, and then I did a couple of other frames, putting some light over to the right and then over to the left, and I'm going to blend those together so it looks like, rather than just one thing illuminated, which doesn't quite look natural for a sunset, everything would be catching the light, right? So by merging those 3 images together, everything is going to look a little bit more realistic, I think. I don't know, I've not done this before, I'm playing. It was getting cold, dark and wet, so I decided to turn my attention to getting a good photo and not worrying too much about the video at this point. Allow me to clarify things. I didn't bother to get the focus nailed with this composition because, well, the wind was moving it and it was a timing thing, but I realized it was just too flat, too boring to bother with anyway. Because the scene was so busy, despite shooting wide open at f2.5, the main subject just wasn't standing out enough. So with this Harlowe light, I managed to take just 2 frames in the end, backlighting the plants, because this is 20 watts and it was plenty powerful enough. I took this frame, and then this one, and I merged the two of them together in Photoshop, and with a little editing ended up with this. Now this is a personal opinion, but I think too many photographers buy a very fast lens to get a very shallow depth of field and use it as a hack, and it becomes a bit of a crutch. Buying a fast lens is the easiest thing to do. It's kind of lazy. If we use light, I believe that's much better. Plus, we've got the benefit of having more depth of field to show context and tell a little bit more of a story. I really do think shallow depth of field is way overrated. So we went from this to this using just this little light. I love these lights. So this little 40mm prime, well, I need to go out and shoot more with it. I need more time shooting at 40mm to decide, is it a good replacement for a 35 and a 50? Is it too much of a compromise, or is it a really smart idea just to have the one lens? I'm also going to be using a lot of portable LED lighting when I'm out doing landscapes, urban, street, you name it. I'm going to be experimenting with lighting and just trying to up my creative game, trying to get something or do things that I haven't tried before. So if you're interested in seeing what I get up to, making a fool of myself half the time probably, well, why not subscribe? And I'll see you soon.